Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Hornby hobby and layout update part 5. Are we now? I'm losing track of these, seriously. So we've been doing quite a bit of work, and you shall see. In fact, you can probably already see what's been going on. So starting up here, first thing, I made this section removable, just in case anything derails in there, and there's any mischief or anything going on in there. Fairly simple. It was originally screwed down, but I thought instead let's make it on dowels, and it's quite a nice fit. In fact, it's so good of a fit that it doesn't even fit. It does. There you go, and there you go, and there you go. So I might cover them up with something. I don't know. Also, speaking of which, I don't know if I've showed you this, but I've added these, which are just bits of, excuse me, just bits of ply. That's all it is. Just a backing board of ply. Well, you can see what I've done. Backing board of ply, 2 strips, and then little dividers in between, just to cover up between the top of the tunnel and the top of the tunnel. You know what I mean? Just to cover up the gaps. I've added some more rocks here. Meow, 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 meow. And I think that really solves quite a bit of it. With this station being there, just rocks, it goes to nothing. So it's like you can't go past this point kind of thing. I might have to do something there. I don't know. But yes, there was a station here. I don't know if I showed you that. I've now used Hornby platforms here instead of that god-awful plywood one. They're being screwed down directly from the top. We'll get onto those in a minute, actually. I could do with a couple more. As you can see, it only goes to there, and I want it to go back to the signal box, and that is still wet. I've basically been adding some flock and ballast just to fill in areas, just to really complete it, and well, you can see where it's still wet. Moving further into the yard area, this has been coated with sand, just regular old plaster sand, whatever you want to call it, building sand, and then painted in a mud brown. Is it a burnt umber, I think I've got. And basically there's going to be some of those metal containers. One there, one there, one there, and one there for parts and stuff, for valuable parts, instead of just having them lying around. This yard here, I don't know what we've shown you with this, so I'm just going to go over everything. This is going to stay as concrete. There's your little transit van, there's your vent wagon, a couple of rolls of whatever that is, and the yard manager's office. A couple of containers there for tools or something. There's this fence in here, which you may remember used to be over here. Nothing's really happened with the field. Nothing's happened with the branch line station. Over here, the station master's house, we have actually coated the top of it, so it looks. It was originally mud. Then I coated it in stone grey, and then I added flock to it, and I think that really makes it pop. Now, moving on to the stations, I have just coated these in glue and added some of that sand. The reason why is because when you look at platforms in real life, especially Matlock, where we've been today, it's all, well, it's asphalt, isn't it? It's all pebbly. And this is the right texture for it. So once all that's dried, I'm going to coat that in grey and then add a white line across the front on both platforms. And that's exactly what's going to happen with that one over there. The rusted engine, I don't know if we showed you this in the last part, but I bet I did. And I love it. I've really, that does look rusted. Church, I'm sure we've already shown you that. The little cafe, I'm sure we've already shown you that. Desmond has just been taken off by now at the moment, but he is going to be put there. Nothing really with the actual engine yard, but you can't help but notice the one big change that's happened. And by big, I mean round. And by round, I mean turntable. I've changed it for a Pico one, and it is so much better. It is so much better, lads. So much better. This section is removable. This is removable at the moment. So the board, I mean, you can see the screw holes there and there and there. That's removable. And so is the turntable. The turntable doesn't need to be wired up because I've got wires running from here to here, so that'll power it up automatically as long as that point over there is open. One other thing you can't help but mention is I've painted the sides of my rails, and it's, well, I've not done the main loops because obviously I've been using them. But, you know, the bits of track that we're not really into, i.e. the scrap siding, I have actually done the running siding here. Speaking of that siding, what I'd like to do is, if I can figure out how to get two engines to run perfectly fine without running too much current, we're going to do a top and tail. So, you know, you'd depart that station, the engine in the front would be leading, it would go around, and then you'd stop at that station, maybe, and then the engine at the back would pull it back into there. Very, very simple. It's just that whenever I run two engines on one controller, it starts all right for a couple of laps, and then it just gets sluggish and slower and slower and slower. I think it did used to work like way, way, way back when, but recently it's not been good. So I don't know whether it's because a lot of my engines are so old that they're pulling too much current. So yeah, well, you can see what improvements I've made, and I'm happy with it. You know, that turntable. Chef's kiss. We definitely need to get the children's playground sorted by next update. Also, by next update, I'd like to have all the ballast done. I'd like to have the tracks painted. I'd like to have this station in with both bridges into position. Some sheep on that hill, and oh, actually, I've thought of something. This is basically meant to be a path to the windmill, so I'm going to use some of the sand and then paint that in a pathy colour. I know, I'm absolutely mental. Give the rocks a paint of white, a bit of white paint, just to weather them up a bit. And then sprinkle some green flock over the top. Get a duck pond sorted. I don't know how much of this is going to be done before the next layout update. Get more trees in, definitely. And, well, try and see if the thing will fold up. Because the more you put onto this, you know, how it goes here, at the minute, it cocks right back to that. You know, so I might have to bring it off a bit and put some stop blocks or something. But yeah, it is really shaping up. I am really liking it. You know, it's really coming to life, you know. I just keep changing my mind all the time. You know, just don't like how things are, so I take it up and try again. And it works out better for it, to be honest. You know, I mean, I think compare this to part one. I am much happier with this. Much, much happier. So, yeah, that's basically it. In fact, what I reckon I could do is use some sand, paint it a light green and put it there instead of trying to get some light green flock because I can't find it. So, yeah, so hopefully there should be a lot more work done by next part. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment and subscribe. Always much appreciated. And until next time, stay safe and thanks for watching.